In Namibia, at the edge of southern Africa's vast Kalahari Desert, a very pregnant Angelina Jolie emerged from a private vacation with Brad Pitt and her 2 adopted children to advocate for 100 million kids across the planet who can't go to school, either because of war, lack of opportunity, or crushing poverty.
People often look at people like this in these situations and they think that they're not exactly like us, you know, that they look at them a little different and think they live in a shanty town and they don't. And they're very smart, they take care of their families.
They love their children.
They love their children and they
want them to go to school?
And they very much want them to go to school.
According to studies by the Global Campaign for Education, every extra year of school for children in developing countries increases their wage earning potential and decreases their likelihood of getting sick.
You could teach them young about hygiene. You can teach them young about protecting themselves from AIDS. You can teach them young about how to take care of their kids. You can teach them young about vaccinations. If every kid was in school, every year 700,000 less people would get AIDS.
So education can be not just life-changing, life-saving.
Absolutely.
Why do you care so much?
Just because I know. Well, my kids, you know, I think of Zahara. You know, she's from a country where 6 million kids don't go to school every year, just in her country alone. It's really tough. You know, her mother died of AIDS, and so they wouldn't have had any funds to send her to school.
So she would have been the exact child you're trying to help.
Yeah. And I know her, and I know how smart she is, and I know what a great lady she's going to be. And to know that there's so many girls like her out there that aren't going to get that chance just because we haven't figured it out in the world to figure out that just education should be free. What do you want to be when you grow up? A nurse. A nurse.
We visited the 30-year-old Angelina in Namibia's Mondesa Township.
What are you going to be? Football star?
Where we sat down in a small 2-room schoolhouse and discussed education.
This is a moral challenge, in your view.
Yeah.
About our stepping up for those who need it.
It's moral, and it's also smart. You know, all these poor countries, not just Africa, but Asia as well, and all poor areas. It's going to be places where our kids are either going to be visiting and working with, and it's going to be a different world, or it's going to be worse than it is now.
Angelina has been a goodwill ambassador for the United Nations on behalf of refugees for the last 5 years. That work brings her to some of the world's most dangerous places, like Darfur in Africa, where the U.S. says genocide is occurring.
Despite having everything going for you, you have chosen the hard road to travel to all of these tough places, to adopt the way you do. And that's why people are fascinated with you. You could be in Malibu, living in a beautiful house.
To me, that's the tough road.
Why is that the tough road?
I feel like adopting my children was the greatest blessing to me. They are the funniest people I've ever met and the greatest joy in my life. And I feel so blessed that I've been allowed to adopt them and bring them into my home. So that was no generous thing of mine.
But you're traveling to Darfur, to really, you're going to Pakistan to see earthquake victims.
When I've gone to refugee camps or I've gone to places to meet earthquake victims, it is certainly not some big sacrifice of mine. There's nothing poor and horrible and sad about these people. They've inspired me.
As a result, Angelina has been spending less time on the sound stages of Hollywood.
Have you ever thought about leaving the movies and making it full-time? This work in trying to change the world?
Yeah, well, I don't want to be responsible for changing the world. I've been just traveling with my family for the last few months, and that's been more important than making a film.
But movies?
But, yeah, certainly for now, it's my job, and it's what makes it possible for me to be able to fund the programs I care about.
Like focusing attention on the 40 million children in Africa, most of them girls, who don't get the opportunity to go to school. It's clear Angelina loves working with children, and she told us she and Brad are thrilled to be adding another child to the family.
You're 8 months along, almost?
No,
plus?
not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet, no.
Well, first of all, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. I've been very, very lucky. I keep, thinking something's bound to. I've had a very fortunate pregnancy. I didn't have a bad morning sickness. I haven't had to slow down, which has been nice for me.
You know what I loved about being pregnant? I love that feeling of not being alone, of speaking for two.
No, that's
That's
I
a
haven't had
powerful
that.
feeling. You don't have that.
Well, I suppose because I'm with my kids all the time, that I feel like I'm speaking for three. I suppose it's more just like having one not sit on the other's head, at this moment. But I think some women are feel very grounded to the earth suddenly, or they're very happy with it. I think I'm still kind of in denial about it.
Denial? You better get with the program.
I still have this kind of funny thing of like I can't quite believe, because I was always very sure that I would adopt all my children, and I was quite at peace with that, and then things felt different and made some different choices, and we'll continue to adopt, but now I'm pregnant.
Where does this lead? How many kids do you want? You're going to have 3 kids. They're busy. They keep you up at night. They need.
We'd love children, and fortunately we have the resources to be able to get help where we need it, or to have a big enough place. So I think, I don't know, there's no real plan of stopping. We just talk about lots of them.
How do you know when you found one you want to adopt?
I'm a big believer in just, they find you. So I think as we travel, we joke about it now. If I go to visit an orphanage, everybody's nervous.
People magazine declared the expecting parents and their growing clan America's most beautiful family. And Angelina and Brad want to continue their humanitarian work, which in the last few months has seen them visit earthquake victims in Pakistan and advocate for children in Haiti.
How nice is it for you to not be on this path alone? And how much is Brad bringing to the table of what you are trying to do with your life?
Without getting so into all that personal stuff, people know very little about him, I think, when it comes to where his morals are, where his values are, how he is with people, what he cares about, what he's learned about. He's a very aware person, and he's doing a lot of good things, and he's a great parent. And so certainly it's nice to watch him do that, and it's nice for me to be able to talk about the things I care about, and with somebody that does as well.
You seem to have become a formidable duo in this world.
It's just the idea. I can't even.
No, because
it's still so bizarre to just talk any kind of So that's why I giggle about it, because I just don't know how to address that kind of thing.
Giggling, I understand, is something you're doing a lot more lately.
I am.
Is it pregnancy?
No, apparently
love?
it is.
Is it? What is it?
Yeah, that's what I've gotten from pregnancy. It's I actually am. I've gotten. Brad said that to me too. I get hysterical now. Like hysterical to the point of crying and falling off the bed. Like I get hysterical.
Are you just joyful?
No, I'll try to read and then I'll start laughing. It'll last for like 20 minutes and then, I'll sit back down and try to focus again. He's reading and I'm reading and we're sitting there really serious and and then I'll just go and like it'll go on for hours. It's really horrible.
There was a girl I once met who didn't know how to laugh very much, who said to me, no, laugh, giggle, keep it up, I want to hear it. You said to me, I want to laugh more, and my kids are giving me this opportunity to laugh. And look at you, you're a mess. You're laughing.
It's
you're
hormonal.
Keep it up. I'm going to be pregnant more often because this is working.
I know, that's what I was starting to say at home. I started to say, because everybody keeps saying that. Was I really miserable before?
You were once much more serious, and you're bright and joyful.
I have a lot to be happy about.
The ultimate goal of the Global Education Drive is that by the year 2015, children everywhere, both boys and girls, should complete at least a 5th grade education. In Africa, where Angelina Jolie has focused so much of her effort, 40 million children are out of school, including more than half of all girls who never finish elementary school. Find out how you can help on our website. The address is dateline.msnbc.com.